This is a tutorial on how to show PowerSchool admin how to transfer a student out of your building to another building within your district. I just got done recording a video on how to transfer a student out of your building when they leave the district. So if you're interested in looking at that video, that one is titled PowerSchool SIS Transfer Out of District. For this case, I have a student that will be transferring from my school KCTC to my school KIH. In order to do this, the KIH registrar is waiting for me to transfer the student out of my building into KIH as an inactive student. The first step when transferring out a student is to always drop them from their courses. So first, select the student that you need to transfer out and confirm that that student's bell schedule has enrollments. The student is currently taking a health diagnostics class that I will have to drop them from. So scroll down to the Modify Schedule page under Scheduling and find the enrollments in which that you need to drop. In this case, the student is enrolled in more than one course, so I'm going to select all courses that that student is enrolled in and drop them. PowerSchool always punches a student out of the building the day after attendance is taken. So what I mean by this is that if the exit date is today, the last day of captured attendance was yesterday. In this case, the student is starting at KIH today, February 13th, so I want to make sure that I punch them out of their classes today because attendance is not captured in my building. There's usually a note here too to remind you that the exit date must always follow the last day of attendance. So for me, the last day of attendance was the 12th, so I will punch them out on the 13th. So there you can see my enrollments are gone. I'm going to go back to my all enrollment screen to check my work, and you can see that all of the enrollments within this building were left and exited on the 13th today. The next step is to transfer the student to another building. Before I do that, I need to transfer them out. So I'm going to go to Functions and select the function Transfer Out of School. You can leave a comment here. Again, you want to keep the same rule in mind for the transfer date and attendance purposes. So my last date of attendance in my building was the 12th for the student, so I'm going to exit them on the 13th. You can also choose an exit code, which is important for state reporting. So if you're unfamiliar with the codes that are specific to your district, ask your pupil accountant. I'm just going to select, let's see here, just select one. If that student plans on returning to my program again next year, I can check this button. I'm not sure if that student's going to be returning, so I'm going to leave that unchecked. Submit, confirm submit, and that student was now transferred out. So I need to go, and it's nice because the student's profile is kept up even though I just transferred her out. In this case, let's say something comes up in the middle of the day and now I haven't completed this process and I need to go back and transfer her too. I can also search for her here. Now I have my enabled smart search on, which pulls up a drop down of everything that I continuously start typing. Some people choose to not have this enabled in their profile settings. So if yours is not enabled, you'll have to search for that inactive student with a backslash in front of their name. So again, I've pulled up the student and I've transferred her out of the building. She's going to sit as an inactive student in KCTC until I transfer her to another building. You transfer a student to using the functions as well. So go under Functions and find the function Transfer to Another School. And here, because she's already transferred out with the date that I selected, I just have to choose the school in which I'm moving her over to. Now, this is a transfer within district. PowerSchool doesn't do district to district transfers. If you're interested again in learning more about how to transfer a student out of your district, there's a video for that as well. So the student is transferring to Kent Innovation High, which is a little bit hard to see with my current Zoom. Let's see here. Once you have your school selected, you can submit. Again, you'll get a confirmation that that student is inactive at Kent Innovation High. So now it's up to that registrar to go ahead and pull that student into their building. I'm also going to demonstrate that today as well. So on the other end of it, if you are a registrar or a building secretary, office manager looking to pull in a student that has just been transferred to your building, you're going to search for them as inactive. So again, if you don't have your enabled smart search on, it won't be as easy as typing in that name. You're going to have to use the backslash and then that student's last name. That student was just transferred from KCTC as an inactive student to KIH, to another building. I'm going to search for that student as inactive. And you need to go back to functions and re-enroll them into your school. So the student has been placed as inactive. First step is I need to make them active within my building and then schedule them into classes. So I will re-enroll Valencia into my building. Date of enrollment, she starts today. This is her first day of attendance. So I want to make sure that that is 213. Entry code, same thing. You might need to ask your pupil accountant. It's different for every district, but these are important for state reporting. So just select, I'm just going to select one for now. I'm going to say entered after taking wrong KCTC program. You have to choose an FTE, which should be built already within your system. This track system isn't necessary. Some buildings use it. Make sure you choose a district of residence for state reporting purposes. You also have the ability to restore class enrollments. If, let's say, that student was gone for a month and then they ended up coming back, you could actually restore those and not have to re-enroll them. So in this case, this student is brand new, so I'm going to click no and submit. So Valencia has now been re-enrolled. When I go back to the start page and I look for her, she's now a colored icon, and so I can tell that she is not inactive. She's in fact active, and from there you can start scheduling her into her courses for KIH. Just keep in mind that when you schedule a student, you always want to schedule their start date as the first day of attendance. So as I go to her modify schedule page and I start enrolling her new classes, I will start her on 2/13, which is today, for her first day of attendance. So that's how you transfer a student out of a building to another building within your district. Step one was we dropped classes. Then we used the function transfer out of building. Then we used the function transfer to building. We went to that new building as a new registrar and re-enrolled that student. And then from there, you would schedule that student into their appropriate courses.